good, guys.
So Dalton, were you surprised that he was able to survive for all the first round and most of the second? Because you were hitting with a lot of power shots, go to the body, and he just almost refused to go down, refused to just tap out. Were you surprised about that, man? He had a lot of fight in him.
Yeah, he had a strong chin, that's for sure. I hit him with a couple heavy shots and he didn't go down. And a couple of them that I caught him on, I could tell I dazed him, and I still hit him with like 2 or 3 more. Right after that, he didn't fall. So I was a little surprised about that. And but I mean, coming back off that, I feel like I did well, like transitioning to my wrestling from my striking and putting everything together pretty well to get the win. So
when you had that those submission attempts early, was there part of you going, oh man, I kind of wanted to put this guy out with my hands though?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I do a lot of jiu-jitsu, so my jiu-jitsu coach would definitely like to see me go for a rear naked choke or something whenever I had the legs in and I flattened them out or when I took his back. But I like to inflict damage. I mean, don't want to sound like I don't know, kind of a douche, but that's what I'm in this for. I love it. I like inflicting damage. I love fighting. I do this for the fun of it, for the love of it. So that's what I like to do. And I mean, if the submission's there and I need to go for it, I will. But if I have other options, I'm gonna go for those.
He was down for a few seconds, you know, more than a few seconds, I guess, after everything was over. I mean, were you comfortable with the amount of damage that you were able to inflict on? Because it felt like, or it looked like, he was blocking a few of those when you guys were on the ground. Obviously, some were getting through, but so I was a little surprised that he was down as long as he was afterwards.
I hit him with a few like really heavy ones that made solid contact. I felt it through my gloves and through my wraps on my knuckles. So I know they hurt him, and he was cut up pretty bad too. I mean, he had a few cuts. He was bleeding. He had a pretty swollen up eye. I think both of them. I mean, that's not really what I'm trying to pay attention to, but I mean, I got the finish, so I mean, it is what it is.
So for a guy that says admits that he wants to inflict damage, were you comfortable with the amount of damage you were able to put on him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wish I could have got like a flush knockout on our feet, but things happen the way they do for whatever reason, and you got to adapt to those and carry on.
You talk about working with your corner. I heard them call for the Uchimata in the wrestling, and you did it almost as soon as they said it.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys worked on for this game?
No, it's not something I work on. It's just something I was a wrestler growing up, and a lot of times at practice, like sometimes I'll play defense because people really don't shoot on me. And I mean, sooner or later I'm going to corrupt somebody in MMA that's going to shoot on me. So sometimes I play a little more defense, and when somebody finally does shoot on me at practice, I usually go for an Uchimata if they go for a single leg or something right away. So that's where that came from, and he seen it was there. I had the whizzer in, and he had me pressed up against the cage after he reversed me. So it was there. I heard him say it. It's one of the few things I heard him say during the fight because I can't hear very well. But I went for it and I hit it perfectly. So.
How tough is it to avoid not develop bad habits? Because as you saw, you were throwing a lot of power hooks, and then you were almost, you guys did playing defense, not trying to overcommit, not trying to get wild. At a fight like this, where he's not really offering any offense, how tough is it to stay focused, be patient, not just develop habits? So, all right, just start, swing for the knockout or try wild moves because he's not, doing anything. He's basically just a heavy bag.
Yeah, when we were watching his fights, he was kind of stiff, kind of awkward, hard to deal with. In film, like some of those fights, they were sloppy, but a lot of those guys are awkward, so they're hard to deal with. You can't usually strike with your normal technique. They kind of push you or bring you down a little bit. So kind of got to adapt to that. And when I was standing back and I was taking some pressure off myself, backing up a little bit, I was trying to let him provide some offense so I could hit him with some powder punches. Because if I'm just going in every single time and I'm pressing the action and he's just going for the counter, he's just swinging wild every time he comes in. He caught me a few times. So I was really trying to just, work my game plan the best I could and see how I could get the finish. But it ended up being on the ground, and sometimes it's the way it goes. So.
Speaking of a finish, it looks like in the beginning you were going for either an armbar Kimura, then all of a sudden you just decided to get on top, throw like ground and pound, start working that. What were you trying to do? Did you sense that you could get it, or was he doing something to prevent you from either getting an armbar, getting a Kimura, getting some kind of arm lock, right before you got on top of the mountain and started pounding him out?
If I'm remembering right, I think he had a Kimura on me. If we're talking about the same one. Are you talking about right before I finished him at 3?
Yeah, right before you were on top of him. It looked like he was trying to do something. You were trying to get an arm bar, but all of a sudden you went, all right, screw it, we're going to get on top of the mountain.
I was going for a Kimura. I pinned his wrist down and tried going under, but he didn't bring his legs up. So I stepped over, I slid my knee over to the mouth. I mean, he was a lot stronger than he looks too, a little resilient, so it's a lot harder to get than I thought. So that's another reason why I stepped over, to feel like I didn't want to waste that energy. And I slid over the mount. It was pretty easy. Got finished.
Last question for me on this, as you're telling us all this, how happy are you that it's now becoming like almost second thought? You're no longer thinking it. It's like, all right, well, this happens, I can't do this, I'm going to do this, and it's almost like brushing your teeth, go from one hand to the other. How happy are you that everything's now is starting to become easier to recognize and just execute right off on the fly?
Talk about transitioning.
Yeah, just everything in terms of, it seems like everything for you is coming more easier, but from the striking to wrestling, from the submission transition, that everything now is becoming fluid for you.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we work on at my camp, Matt Factory, is transitions. Whether it's wrestling, MMA, striking, whatever, the most important things most of the time are transitions. That's what win you fights, that's what win you wrestling matches, that's what win you everything. So, I mean, that's what we worked on whenever I was wrestling in high school and college. That's what we work on with MMA now. So, I mean, I see a lot of guys that are really good strikers, really good wrestlers, but they can't put it together. They're doing one or the other. And when you watch a fight, you can tell when they're about to transition from one to the next. They go from completely striking to completely wrestling. It's easy to tell. They're kind of telegraphing it. So, one of the things we work on is definitely setting up our takedowns from our strikes. Faking takedowns. There was one wherever I faked a single leg, went down on a single leg, came back with overhand right, hit him with it. So that's another thing we work on, not just striking and wrestling, but wrestling and striking. So, all right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.